and good morning to you. It is time for Extra Shot. It is 8:15. It is your Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend. We've got Walt here. We've got Camelia. How you guys doing?
What's up?
Good.
Hello.
Monday.
I was told I was going to be on The View. Is this like The View?
It's pretty much like The
Walt.
View.
Sorry.
It's like the modern day View.
Modern View.
It's
Yeah.
the scene. The scene.
The scene. Megan Tellis is off. She's spending some time with family in Southern California, but we've got you covered on your Extra Shot today. Our first topic, we're going in on Billy Bush, and I know you both have some things to say. First, I'm going to preface the story, break it down for you, let you know all the new details coming out this morning. So he's basically talking about, what's been happening over the last few months. Of course, he was let go from the Today Show, and he said that after those videotapes came out, October of 2005 is when they were actually recorded of him and then The Apprentice star Donald Trump, now our president, making lewd comments about women. And he says that since the time that these tapes came out last year and now, it's been quite a roller coaster. He interviewed with The Hollywood Reporter. He made a commitment to become a better, fuller man, he says. He had to apologize to his family. And he said that he's only listened to these tapes 3 times since then, and it makes him feel totally and completely gutted, quote unquote. So this is something that he's now coming out to talk about. The timing of it, a lot of people say, okay, he's ready to come back to work. He's finally making the public appearance, talking about what it's been like. Walt, I know earlier we had this conversation on the morning show. The timing, what do you think about it?
I think the timing is specific. I think that he's served his time away. He got fired. I remember when he made the statement, when the tape first came out, and he's cruising around and with Donald Trump, and their recordings were not to be made public. It was not. It was a private conversation.
Right.
And as soon as I heard all that, I said, he's gone. I mean, NBC suspended him for a couple of days. I'm like, this is not good. I don't know that you come back from that.
Yeah.
So I think the firing probably was justified at the time. But we've had a lot of people in, your Martha Stewarts, your Marv Alberts,
Paula Deen. She's cooking again.
Oh, there's been a lot of people that did something which you're done, go away, and then I think people forgive and forget depending on what you did. And I think Billy Bush is testing the waters, maybe his agent is. It's like, hey, he's doing the yoga thing now. He's also kind of apologized to his daughter's thing. So showing remorse, which is always the first thing you want to do. Man, I screwed up. I'm a changed man. And I hear you people who complain.
Yeah, and in the article in the Hollywood Reporter about it, he's walking on hot coals with Tony Robbins. Like, he is
doing the most.
He's doing the most. But like Walt said, people tend to forget. So I'm surprised that he kind of fell back for this long. Because when it happened, the first thing that came to mind was, like you said, Paula Deen, the Martha Stewart, everybody else kind of, they do their time. They get their punishment, and then they kind of ease their way back in. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of months he gets some type of gig, maybe start on cable and ease his way back in, or maybe with a podcast. You never know. You could do all kinds of things.
Look at Brian Williams is back on MSNBC, and his journalistic issue with what he did was pretty bad, yet his network kind of welcomed him back in a lesser role.
Yeah,
but,
and I think that's the big difference, the Brian Williams, the ethical implications of what he was doing and what he was, what his job was by day. He was supposed to be this, big wig anchor and a big network. And with Billy Bush, I think the conversation we also had, Walt, was he said all these things, so did President Trump at the time.
Candidate Trump, right.
Candidate at the time. And he went on to be elected president. Billy Bush got fired. So I think that's the contrast. So you at home, as you're listening to this, let us know what you think. Do you think that was a fair move? Clearly it's gone and past now. But do you think he should come back to TV at all? Or do you think that damage is done?
I think when Billy Bush was let go, a lot of people also felt at the time that this was going to derail then Donald Trump's candidacy for president. It was like, Bush is out, Trump, there's no way he's going to be able to overcome this. A lot of people then said that was it. It was probably the 4th time people said, no way Trump can win. And then there were many other things that came up. No way Trump can win. He won. So I think at the time it was felt that both of these guys were going to go down, and only one did.
Right.
Yeah, and then but as a network, you got to cover yourself. NBC, technically, they couldn't let him stick around, even if they didn't think he was at fault at all, because sometimes you just do what you got to do to kind of make sure you put the fire out.
Yeah.
So whether they believed in Billy or whether they thought it was bad or not, or whether it wasn't even as bad as at the time Donald Trump, you know what? You got to cut your losses. Somebody has to go. And he got a good settlement, too. So it's not like he walked away and just lost his job and he's out here strapped for cash.
And now we're hearing, though, that he signed, what, a confidentiality agreement?
He signed a confidentiality agreement. He can't talk about the firing. So in my opinion, I was like, oh, if he comes back, he has to write a book. We need all the tea. We need to know what went down, what they told him, what they said he couldn't say. But now we're not going to get any of that.
Yeah.
So he's kind of leading in with the whole, I've been meditating, I've been doing yoga, I've been juicing,
Juicing.
Yeah, he's all cleaned up. He's ready for a job. I mean, this is a smart move by his agent, I think.
So Daniel Long says NBC released the tape. They set Billy up for failure.
Somebody did. I'm not sure if the tape was released to get Billy. I think the tape was released by those opposed to the Trump candidacy.
Right.
Billy just happened to get flushed down with the whole thing. So.
Yeah.
Again, this was a recording that wasn't meant for air.
Right.
This was a couple of fellas talking things they shouldn't talk. And that's why Billy Bush got fired, is that the tape was offensive to women.
Right.
And the Today Show staff and many females on the Today Show staff were like, we will not work with this guy now that we know his true colors.
Right.
And that, I think, precipitated.
Exactly.
He basically offended.
Yeah. And,
Every
and
woman.
he was coming off of the Olympics,
Most
so he
women.
was very much in the headlines, not just for Access Hollywood, but also on the Today Show during that whole Summer Games period. So he was really in the limelight right before all this happened.
Yep.
So his character was really being put into question after these tapes came out. We're also seeing, a couple of people saying, like Jamie DeMille, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Jamie, good morning, says, I think it's totally unfair and he should be allowed to come back. So, yeah, we'll see if he comes back. I'll be curious to see what network. Maybe ABC will pick him up. Who knows?
I mean, we're bringing back a bunch of old shows, so why not bring back Billy Bush?
There we go.
What do we?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see how the cookie crumbles. Cool. Thanks for your insight.
Okay.
Well,
Do I go now?
you get to
Okay.
unless you want to hang out.
Ladies and gentlemen,
By the way, what's
replacing-
in your cup?
I have some apple cinnamon oatmeal.
It's
Do
all
you want some?
No, I'm
extra
okay.
apple
Smells
cinnamon.
so
You can
good.
smell it all the way across the room.
You guys really like the smell?
Yeah. You can
smell
What if
it.
I did this as a cologne? Would that work for you?
A little,
Not-
but then you'll be a little too
That's
apple
all
cinnamon.
Am I
day.
asking for
That's
too
8
much?
hours.
Too much walk.
Carry on, ladies.
Okay, bye. Enjoy your
Bye.
breakfast. Okay,
you.
Michelle Apon.